October 30th, 1974. Kinshasa, Zaire, 4 a.m. In a boxing ring surrounded by 60,000 screaming fans and watched by 1 billion people worldwide, Muhammad Ali leans against the ropes, his arms crossed over his face, absorbing punishing blows from George Foreman, the hardest puncher in boxing history. Foreman has knocked out 40 of his 42 opponents. He destroyed Joe Frazier in 2 rounds. He demolished Ken Norton in 2 rounds. Both men had beaten Ali. Now Foreman is supposed to kill Ali, literally put him in the hospital, end his career, maybe end his life. Ali is 32 years old, past his prime, banned from boxing for 3.5 years during his athletic peak. Everyone, journalists, experts, even Ali's own trainer, believes this fight will be a massacre. The odds are 4-1 against Ali. Some doctors have called for the fight to be canceled, fearing Ali might die in the ring. But as Foreman throws punch after devastating punch, something strange is happening. Ali isn't just surviving, he's talking, taunting, smiling. "Is that all you got, George? They told me you could hit. Show me something, champ." What nobody understands yet, not Foreman, not the commentators, not even Ali's corner, is that Ali is executing the most brilliant tactical strategy in boxing history. A strategy so insane that it shouldn't work, but it does. A strategy that will become legendary. The rope-a-dope. And in round 8, George Foreman, the unbeatable, the unstoppable, the invincible, will fall. And Muhammad Ali will prove once again why he's the greatest. This is the story of the Rumble in the Jungle, the night Ali defied death and became immortal. To understand why the Rumble in the Jungle seemed like a death sentence for Muhammad Ali, you need to understand what George Foreman was in 1974. George Foreman wasn't just a boxer, he was a force of nature. 6'3", 220 pounds of pure muscle and explosive power. His punches didn't just hurt, they ended fights. Opponents crumpled when Foreman hit them, their legs giving out, consciousness leaving their bodies. In 42 professional fights, Foreman had 40 wins, 37 by knockout, most in the first 3 rounds. He didn't box, he destroyed, methodically, brutally, without mercy. In January 1973, Foreman fought Joe Frazier for the heavyweight championship. Frazier was the man who'd beaten Muhammad Ali in the fight of the century in 1971, handing Ali his first professional defeat. Frazier was tough, relentless, seemingly indestructible. Foreman knocked him down 6 times in 2 rounds. It wasn't a fight, it was an execution. Frazier looked helpless, overwhelmed by Foreman's power. The boxing world was shocked. If Foreman could do that to Frazier, what could he do to anyone else? 6 months later, Foreman fought Ken Norton. Norton had broken Ali's jaw in 1973, beaten him in a split decision. Norton was considered one of the best heavyweights in the world. Foreman demolished him in 2 rounds. Again, it wasn't competitive, it was frightening. By 1974, Foreman seemed unbeatable. He wasn't just winning, he was making great fighters look amateur, and Ali was next on his list. Ali, meanwhile, was in a complicated place. After his draft refusal in 1967, he'd been stripped of his title and banned from boxing for 3.5 years, his prime years, ages 25 to 28. When he returned in 1970, he was older, slower, and had lost that edge of invincibility. He'd fought his way back to contention, but the losses to Frazier and Norton had damaged his aura. People questioned whether Ali was still great or just a shadow of his former self. At 32, many believed his best days were behind him. When the fight with Foreman was announced for September 1974 in Kinshasa, Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of Congo, the boxing world reacted with concern bordering on horror. This wasn't going to be a competitive fight, this was going to be a slaughter. Even Ali's own team was worried. His trainer Angelo Dundee privately told friends he feared for Ali's safety. Ferdy Pacheco, Ali's doctor, begged him not to take the fight, warning that Foreman's power could cause serious brain damage or worse. But Ali needed this fight. He needed the money. The purse was $5 million, an enormous sum for 1974. He needed to prove he was still relevant, still great, still the greatest. And maybe most importantly, he needed to reclaim the heavyweight championship that had been stolen from him 7 years earlier. So Ali agreed to fight George Foreman in Africa, in front of the world, knowing that everyone expected him to lose, possibly to die. The fight was originally scheduled for September 25th, but was postponed to October 30th after Foreman suffered a cut during training. This gave Ali an extra 5 weeks in Zaire, 5 weeks that would prove crucial. Muhammad Ali understood something that most fighters didn't. Boxing isn't just physical, it's psychological. And if you can beat a man mentally before you ever step into the ring, the physical fight becomes easier. From the moment Ali arrived in Zaire, he began his assault on George Foreman's mind. First, Ali connected with the Zairean people in a way Foreman never could. Ali ran through the streets of Kinshasa, greeting crowds, shaking hands, learning local phrases. The people embraced him, chanting, "Ali, Boumaye, Ali, kill him." Everywhere Foreman went, he heard crowds chanting for his opponent. Ali also played the race card brilliantly. He positioned himself as the African champion, the man who represented black pride and African heritage. Meanwhile, Foreman, who'd won his Olympic gold medal in 1968 and waved a small American flag in the ring, was painted as the American establishment fighter, even though Foreman himself was black. It was psychological warfare, and it worked. Foreman became increasingly isolated, frustrated, angry. The more beloved Ali became in Zaire, the more Foreman retreated into himself. Then came the verbal assault. Ali called Foreman the mummy, slow, stiff, unable to handle a fast, clever opponent. He mocked Foreman's scowling face, his lack of charisma, his reputation as nothing more than a puncher. In press conferences, Ali would predict victory in increasingly outrageous ways. "I'm going to dance for 3 rounds, tire him out, then knock him out in 5. He's too dumb to handle my speed." Foreman responded with silence and intimidation. He'd hit the heavy bag so hard during public workouts that it would swing wildly, the chain holding it straining. He'd stare at Ali with dead eyes, promising violence without words. The weigh-in was electric with tension. Ali, at 216 pounds, looked lean and ready. Foreman, at 220, looked like a sculpted warrior. They stared at each other, and for a moment you could see something in Foreman's eyes, not fear, but anticipation. He genuinely believed he was going to hurt Ali badly. The night before the fight, Ali was unusually quiet. His cornerman asked if he was nervous. Ali smiled. "I know something nobody else knows. I got a secret weapon." "What's that?" they asked. "You'll see," Ali said. "You all see." October 30th, 1974, 4 a.m. The fight begins. The time was chosen to accommodate American television audiences, meaning the fight took place in the middle of the African night. The stadium was packed, the crowd roaring, the atmosphere electric with anticipation and dread. Round 1 began, and immediately Ali did something unexpected. Instead of dancing, moving, using his legendary footwork to stay away from Foreman's power, Ali walked to the center of the ring and started trading punches with the hardest puncher in boxing. Angelo Dundee, watching from the corner, nearly had a heart attack. "What are you doing?" he screamed, but Ali couldn't hear him over the crowd. Ali and Foreman exchanged huge shots. The crowd gasped. This was suicide.
Ali couldn't win a slugging match with George Foreman. Nobody could. Then, midway through the round, Ali did something even stranger. He backed up to the ropes, leaned against them, and let Foreman hit him. Not his head. Ali covered his face and body with his arms and gloves, but his sides, his arms, his shoulders. Foreman threw massive punches, and Ali just absorbed them, his body pressed against the ropes. In between rounds, Dundee was furious. "Stay off the ropes! Dance! Move! What are you doing?" Ali looked at him calmly. "The ropes are loose. They give. Trust me." Dundee didn't understand, but there was no time to argue. Round 2 began, and Ali went right back to the ropes. Foreman, smelling blood, attacked with everything he had. Left hooks, right crosses, uppercuts, punches that would have knocked out most heavyweights. But Ali's defense was perfect. He covered up, blocked, deflected. And when Foreman threw body shots, the loose ring ropes absorbed much of the impact, bouncing Ali backward instead of letting the force transfer fully. And Ali talked constantly. "Is that it, George? My grandmother hits harder. Come on, champ, show me something." Foreman responded with silence and intimidation. He'd hit the heavy bag so hard during public workouts that it would swing wildly, the chain holding it straining. He'd stare at Ali with dead eyes, promising violence without words. By round 5, something was happening. Foreman's punches were slowing down. His arms were getting heavy. He'd thrown hundreds of power shots, expending enormous energy, and he wasn't finishing Ali. For the first time in his career, George Foreman was tired. Ali sensed it immediately. Round 5, Ali came off the ropes and started hitting Foreman with combinations, fast, sharp punches that snapped Foreman's head back. The crowd roared. Foreman, shocked and exhausted, tried to respond, but his legs weren't moving well anymore. Rounds 6 and 7, the pattern continued. Ali would go back to the ropes, let Foreman tire himself out further, then come alive with combinations. Foreman was breathing heavily now, his mouth open, his punches lacking their earlier fury. Angelo Dundee, watching from the corner, finally understood. Ali wasn't being crazy, he was being brilliant. He'd discovered that the ring ropes in Kinshasa were looser than normal, providing give that absorbed some of Foreman's power. He'd let Foreman punch himself into exhaustion, all while staying safe enough to survive. And now, with Foreman tired, Ali was going to take over. Round 8 began. Foreman knew he needed a knockout. He'd never been this deep into a fight before. He was exhausted, confused, and Ali was getting stronger. Ali went back to the ropes one more time. Foreman, desperate, loaded up with a massive right hand. Ali slipped it, and suddenly he was off the ropes, throwing combinations with the speed and power of his prime years. A right hand caught Foreman on the jaw. A left hook followed. Another right hand. Foreman's legs wobbled. The crowd sensed what was coming and rose to their feet, roaring. Ali threw a perfect 5-punch combination, ending with a straight right hand directly to Foreman's jaw. George Foreman's eyes glazed over. He stumbled backward, tried to catch himself, and fell face first to the canvas. The referee began counting. Foreman tried to get up, managed to reach his hands and knees, but couldn't beat the count. At 10, it was over. Muhammad Ali had done the impossible. He'd beaten George Foreman. He'd reclaimed the heavyweight championship. He'd proven, once again, that he was the greatest.
The rumble in the jungle immediately became more than a boxing match. It became legend, mythology, proof that intelligence and strategy could overcome pure physical force. The rope-a-dope strategy that Ali employed that night entered the boxing lexicon permanently. It was studied, analyzed, debated. Some called it genius, others called it insanity that happened to work, but everyone agreed no one had ever seen anything like it before. George Foreman was devastated by the loss. For years, he couldn't watch the fight, couldn't talk about it without pain. He'd been unbeatable, invincible, and Ali had exposed him as human. Foreman would eventually return to boxing a decade later, win the heavyweight championship again at age 45, and become a beloved figure. But the rumble in the jungle haunted him for years. For Muhammad Ali, the victory was vindication. He'd proven that the 3.5 years stolen from him hadn't destroyed his greatness. He'd proven that at 32, older and slower than his prime, he was still smarter and tougher than anyone else. The fight also cemented Ali's status as a global icon beyond sports. The rumble in the jungle wasn't just about boxing, it was about Africa, black pride, post-colonial identity, the power of belief over circumstance. Ali became a symbol of resistance, resilience, and the triumph of will over expectation. 40 years later, when asked about his greatest achievement, Ali didn't talk about winning the heavyweight championship 3 times or going undefeated for years. He talked about the rumble in the jungle, about the night he was supposed to die and instead became immortal. George Foreman, late in life, finally made peace with the fight. In interviews, he'd smile and say, "Muhammad Ali was the greatest fighter I ever faced. Not because he beat me, because he outsmarted me. And that night in Zaire, he showed the world what greatness really looks like." The rumble in the jungle taught us that strength alone doesn't win fights. Strategy matters. Intelligence matters. Believing in yourself when everyone else has written you off matters. Muhammad Ali went into that ring as the underdog, the aging champion past his prime, facing a monster who destroyed everyone in his path. And Ali won, not by being stronger, but by being smarter, by understanding that sometimes the key to victory is letting your opponent exhaust himself while you survive long enough to strike back. In Zaire, on October 30th, 1974, at 4 in the morning, Muhammad Ali proved once and for all why he called himself the greatest. Because being great isn't about being unbeatable. It's about finding a way to win even when everyone believes you'll lose. Ali Bomaye. Ali, kill him. And he did. If this story made you think about strategy over strength, intelligence over power, and never giving up even when the odds are against you, subscribe to Hidden Legends Stories. Leave a comment. Is the rope-a-dope the greatest boxing strategy ever? Could anyone else have pulled it off against Foreman? What's your favorite Ali moment? Next time, we'll explore another legend who defied expectations and changed the game forever. Until then, remember, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how smart you fight. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ali Bomaye.